So let's go to Steve Goff. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Alana, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I was wondering, in this camp and for this tournament, obviously there's several of the veteran players aren't here, so Vlaco could take a look at a lot of the younger and more less experienced players. How do you see this opportunity for yourself and for other players who might be needing to make an impression before the big tournament comes up?
I think anytime you're called into camp, you want to make an impression. You want to obviously step into the environment, learn, grow, and kind of do everything you can to get the call in for the next camp. And obviously right now we're focused on making the qualifying roster. So I think every time you're in camp, that's kind of the focus. You're looking big picture, and then kind of looking, day to day, what can I do to show my skills and to get better.
Do you see this as an opportunity because you might have more minutes than perhaps another tournament when everyone's in?
Yeah, like I said, I think anytime you're in camp is always a great opportunity. I don't look too much into who's on the roster, who's not. I think, we're all kind of focused on ourselves and focused on what we can bring to the team and bring to the environment.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Steve. If you have a question for Alana, please raise your hand, and we'll go to Jonathan Tannenwald. Go ahead, JT.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi, Alana. Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. It plays a little bit, obviously, off Steve's question, but in terms of building chemistry with this group that can carry forward in the long term, how much does it help that Tierney's in this and Andy's in this, and obviously lots of players who but the Stanford connections, as deep as they are on this national team, I would imagine they have to help you quite a bit in this circumstance.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty great feeling getting to come into this environment and be with players you've already played with, be with people you're good friends with. I think that really does help with the connection on the field and off. I think with that said, the soccer world's so small. I think probably most people have played with someone else or a few other people on the team at some point, whether that was college, club, or in the league. But yeah, as you said, it is pretty cool to get to kind of bring that connection from college and for most people from club into this environment.
And on the club side of it, does it give you even a further indication of how good the Reign might be this year?
Yeah, I hope so. We've got big goals for the year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Let's go to Jessa Braun. Go ahead, Jessa.
Hi, Jessa with USWNT Sports. Thanks for your time today. I'm wondering, with Becky Sauerbrunn on a roster that's pretty young, what kind of have you learned from her leadership, or how has her leadership kind of impacted the defense in this camp?
Yeah, I think it's always great having Becky in camp, and I think, as you said, she's obviously someone that the younger players and especially defenders and center backs can look to learn from. I think she's just always very professional in everything she does and kind of sets the standard of excellence, and it makes it very easy to follow when you know what kind of the standard is and what's expected. So from that standpoint, it is great getting to be around her, and I think as a leader, I think she leads by example. She leads by the way she plays and by the way she comports herself off the field. So it's always easy to kind of look to Becky and see where we should be at and what's expected of us.
Thanks, Jessa. And Becky, of course, is on the cusp of 200 caps. Her next one will be 200. She'll be the 12th player to reach that mark. Are there any other questions for Alana? Yes, JT has another. Go ahead, man.
Thanks, Aaron. Vlaco has spoken. We've all talked about sort of the era change that is going on now, the generational change that is going on with the national team, bringing in a lot of new players over the last few months. How much does that get spoken about among the players yourselves?
To be honest, we haven't really spoken about it. I think I mentioned, I think most people aren't really looking at the rosters, aren't really trying to figure out the reasoning for things. I think, we all just go back into our club environments, work as hard as we can to earn being called back in. And, if you do, that's awesome. If you don't, you stay in your club environment and kind of work to get back here. But other than that, I think it's not on us to kind of scrutinize what those decisions are.